Hi, it's Sana and welcome to Year 2 Phonics. Today we're doing lesson 39 and it's a morphology focus. Are you ready to get ready for the definitions? You ready to warm up with that, do our definitions? Let's go. Remember what a morpheme is? I want you to do the actions with me if you can. A morpheme is the smallest unit of meaning within a word. A base word. A base word is the main part of a word and it holds the original meaning. A base word can stand on its own. A prefix. A prefix comes at the beginning of a word and it changes the base word's meaning. A prefix cannot stand on its own. Let's look at the prefixes we've done already. Pre, meaning before or earlier. Dis, not, a part or absence of. Sub, under or below. Un, not, opposite of. Re, back or again. That's our prefixes. What about what goes on the other end of the word? The suffixes. Remember, a suffix comes at the end of a word to give the base word a different meaning. A suffix cannot stand on its own. Let's look at some of the suffixes we've done already. Y, full of or inclined to. Est, greatest, more than or most. Full, full of or having. Ing, happening now. Li, like or how. One who or comparison. Ed, past tense, pronounced id, d, t. Past tense. Es, plural, more than one, after those hissing sounds. And s, plural, more than one. And less, without. Good job, I almost missed one. What about our other definition of a root? Remember, a root is a word part that can generally not stand on its own. A root word part needs a prefix or a suffix to make sense. Let's have a look at the roots we've learnt so far. Port, which means to bring or carry. Think of like carrying your bags. Form, to shape. When you use your Play-Doh and you make some shapes. Today, our learning intention is to use a new root word. We're going to learn a new root and our root is tract. It's from Latin. We heard about them in the vocabulary as well, Latin. So it's a Latin root tract, and tract means to draw or to pull or draw. And it's not draw like drawing when you write, it's draw like when you drag something out, you draw. That's another word for it too. So to pull or draw is tract. Let's find out some more about that word today. Let's tune in to some pictures of things that have the word tract in them that you might have heard before. So this picture here, we've got a magnet and these things are getting drawn or pulled into it. They're being attracted. This is attracting it, attract. So it's pulling them in. This tyre has traction. It pulls or draws you down onto the road. This person working out, doing their muscles, they are contracting their muscles. They're bringing them in and making them nice and tight and strong. This person here, sometimes I feel like this, they are distracted. Their attention is being pulled or drawn away from them and they're looking at so many other things, distracted. And in this one, someone is having a tooth extracted, being pulled out. So they're at the dentist, they're having an extraction. Have you heard any of those words before? Have you used them? Did you know that they meant to draw or pull? We do now. Let's practice some more words that use draw or pull using tract. You ready? I'm going to stick this one just on top for now. Let's read these words. Let's build some words and read them. So dis, remember that means not or absence of. Distract, distracts. Yep, something you can distracts. Distracting. Something could be distracting. Distracted, distractor. Could be a person who distracts. Distractist. Nah, that one doesn't make sense, does it? Distractful. Nah. Distractly. Nah. Distractee. Sounds cool, but no, that's not a real word in English. Distractless. No. I think most of the ones are fitting up the top there. Let's try another word. Retract. Retracts. Yep. Retracting. Retracted. Retractor. Maybe. Retractist. Retractful. I think I see a pattern happening here. I think some of these bottom suffixes don't go with tract very often. How about subtract? Sub means under or below, so you're going to pull something under or below. Subtracts. Subtracting. Subtracted. Subtractor. Subtractist. We'll stick to those top ones. Pretracts. Pretracts. Sounds like it could be a word, but it's not a word. We can't put pre in front of tract. That doesn't make sense. Let's do some writing now. You've done this before, so you know what you're doing. I'll remind you though, in case you haven't worked with me before on this. So we've got our little word building chart at the top here. We've got our word building space here, and we've used the pluses and the equals to show how we put the parts together to make a new word when we use our morphemes. So we add morphemes, we add prefixes and suffixes to our root to build a new word. So we've done one as an example. We've got distractedly. Oh, there we go. We didn't do that one when we worked it out before. So you can do more than one suffix. Distractedly. To do it in a distracted way. Distractedly. Wonder if there's any others that you can do like that. Subtractedly? Maybe. What you're going to do in a minute is pause the video when you've got something to write on and something to write with, and see how many words you can build that make sense to you. So have a go of using these prefixes, dis, re, sub and pre, our new root tract, meaning to pull, and then some of these different suffixes. And remember, like in distractedly, you might be able to use more than one suffix together. So maybe you could add something and then make it plural. Might add le. See how you go. Pause, write some words, come back and see. How did you go? There wasn't actually too many you could make, I think. It's really tricky. So we could use dis, re and sub. Remember, we couldn't use pre. So, and in our suffixes, I think we could have the plural s, ing for happening now, ed for past tense, with most of those other with those prefixes. So there wasn't a lot of words. Here's some I've written. Did you get these ones? Check them if you did. Retracting. So pulling something in now. Retracting. Subtracted. When we put something in under or below, took it away in the past. Subtracting, happening now. How did you go? Check them, have a look, see. If you had any in there that used pre, put a little mark by those ones because those ones aren't right. And if you had anything using estfully, apart from distractedly, or y or less, then those ones probably don't make sense either, because you can't be more than, greatest or most of pulling, and you can't be full of to pull. So those ones don't make sense with those. So that's why we just play with them. Sometimes they're a little bit fun to come up with those silly words that sound like they could make sense, but they don't. So well done. Give yourself a tick if you got these ones. Check they're spelt right. And then we're going to go on to looking at what some words mean. You ready to tune in to see what some of the words mean that have tract in them now? Let's do that. All right, you will still need your something to write on and something to write with, because it's quick quiz time. All right, our quick quiz today is definitions for these words with tract in them. So have a look, we've got 3 words. Write those down on your page. Subtract, tractor, and retracted. Write those down, and then we're going to match them to the definitions. There's only 3 today, we usually do 4, so you're getting off a little bit easier today. We're going to need A, B, and C for these words for the definitions. So I'll read you the first definition and you write it next to the word you think it needs to go next to. A is when something has been pulled back or withdrawn. When something's been pulled back or withdrawn, is it subtract? Is it tractor? Or is it retracted? There might be a hint in there about the tense. I can hear a word pulled, which means past tense. That might help you a little bit. I think that's A. B, definition for B. The process or skill of taking one number away from another. You do that in maths, don't you? What do you do when you take one number away? What's another word for takeaways? When you're taking away one number from another number, do you subtract it? Do you tractor it? Might be fun. Do you retracted it? Last one, so B by that one, which means taking away something else. C, a powerful motor vehicle used for pulling equipment. Which one of these is a motor vehicle used for pulling equipment? I think the pictures might help you there. Have you got your A, B and C written down next to the words? Which ones do you think they are? Let's check them. So when something has been pulled back or withdrawn, it is retracted, just like on this tape measure here. You can see when they've measured something to see how long it is, they've pulled the tape measure out and then it's retracted, it's pulled back in to the tape. So it's not as long, so that's A, so retracted. So the definition for retracted is when something has been pulled back or withdrawn. B, the process or skill of taking one number away from another. It's to subtract. It's what you do in maths when you do your takeaways. You pull it away from something else, pull the numbers away from each other. C, a powerful motor vehicle used for pulling equipment. Usually on a farm we see these, don't we? It's a tractor. C. Did you get those ones? They were a little bit easier today, I think. Apart from retracted, I think the other two you would have got really easy. And I think the past tense might have helped you with that. Guess what? It's time to review our learning. Can you remember what our learning intention was today? It was to use the Latin root tract, which meant to pull or draw in words. We did that, didn't we? We wrote some words, we read some words, we did some word building. Well done. Your independent activity today is coming up on your screen now. You're going to do a morpheme match. So you're going to use some of the morphemes that we've been learning along the way to build the words and to say what the words mean, what the prefix means, what the suffix means, what the root is. So in the little green box on your screen, you will find all the prefixes, roots and suffixes that we have learnt about. And in the bottom, in the grey table, are all the definitions that go with them. So remember at the start of every lesson, we do the definitions. So if you need to, before you do your independent activity, rewind the lesson and check those definitions so you can match them, you can do that. If you want, you can write them all down, or we're happy for you just to say them. So you might say which one goes with what. So for example, the one that says not a part or absence of in the prefix, you might just say dis, or you might write it. Okay, good job. Have fun matching all those morphemes, all those prefixes, suffixes and roots and all the definitions. Well done on your morphology work today. I look forward to working with you next time.